Another word that I hear in the black community especially is the N word. You know, some of these young people and some of the older ones, you know, they get with their homeboys and homegirls and they call each other that, or they're talking about somebody and they use the N word. They think it's cool, they think it's hip and all this type of thing. You know, I was shocked to hear this Sharpton guy. I guess it was years ago he was speaking at some rally or speech or something. And he used the N word several times. And I'm like, man, it's supposed to be a reverend? Now I know there are other reverends, religious leaders that use the word, but I just don't understand it. I don't use it. Don't allow any of my family members to use it. Makes no difference what color you are. If you call me that, you're subject to get popped in the mouth. And think about it. I mean, you got these rappers and these entertainers and these comedians, and they just go off rattling off the N word. Now, some of them weren't taught any better. So you have to overlook that. This is a sign of ignorance. But when you say the N word, you know, it's already a derogatory term. So what you're saying when you call each other that is, I agree with you for hanging my grandfather and my father and my brothers and my son. And I also agree with you for raping my mom and my grandma and my sister and my daughter. I agree with you. It's okay. See, that's what you're saying when you sit up and you call each other that. Think about where the word came from. I know you think it's cool and hip and all that type of thing, but just think about that. Think about what you're saying. You know, it's another thing I can't understand is that some men like to beat up on women. I can't figure that one out. You know, you want to fight her like she's a man. And I know there's some women who try to fight and we'll hit a man too. You know, we let each other be provoked by whatever. Some of us know how to push each other's buttons and we just go off. I say, look, if you got to get that upset, that angry, take a walk. Cool yourself off. Put some ice on your head. You know, I've been hit by a woman before. I mean, she hit me so hard, I saw stars. I thought I was about to go out. But I didn't retaliate. I mean, I didn't do anything to her. I walked away. So we have to learn to be able to do those same type of things. Don't get so emotionally tied up in certain things. But there's no reason to hit a woman. And another thing that I'd like to clear up, and it's these women who call themselves preachers. Now, I have no, you know, again, I'm not being a judge. So hopefully you don't take it that way. I know some of you will anyway, but this is just me speaking. If you want to be a minister and you're ministering to other women, hey, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm just talking about me personally. I'm not going to sit up in a church under any woman. Now, I will admit that on some Christian television stations, there's this one particular woman that I listen to from time to time, Joyce Meyer. I don't think she calls herself a reverend or anything. I don't think so. I mean, maybe she does. I've never heard her say that. But she made a pretty profound statement that I was in agreement with. watching her one day, and she said that the church does not need a revival, the church needs a revolution. And I would go on to say that the church needs revelation. Because things have gotten out of hand. You got all these different ministries, all these different things going on in the church that shouldn't be there. You got the prosperity ministry, you got the healing ministry. There's one thing about that healing ministry that really gets me is that how is it that you can go to some of these healing ministers and then they can lay hands on you and blow on you and all this kind of thing, but then that illness or that sickness comes back a while later? How in the world is that? I tried to look up in the Bible and did some research to find out, was there ever anybody who was healed by Jesus and that illness or sickness or disease came back? Did the blind man, when he was healed and he was able to see, did he come back to Jesus and say, "Oh, Jesus, help me, I'm blind again"? So you got to be careful. Some of this stuff you can be emotionally driven to believe in a lot of different things. For instance, I can sit up and say, "Look, I got a vial of snake oil straight from the black mamba. And one drop, if I put it on your head, you'll live to be 100 years old. And all you have to do is send me $20 million. Now, wait a minute, just before you write the check, I'm not serious about that. But there are some people who will play with your emotions. They got the holy water, the healing cloth, dirt straight from the Holy Land. Sprinkle it on your foot and all kinds of things are going to happen. Maybe you'll fly, I don't know. But we got to stop playing around in the church. Stop all this foolishness. And see, with some of these women pastors, reverends, preachers, whatever they want to call themselves, you can tell who wins the arguments at home. Just listen to some of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say anything derogatory or negative about it. I'm just saying. This is just me personally. You don't have to agree with me. So the question has come up about people with all this money and they got these little dogs that they take care of. They take the dogs everywhere they go. They spend $10,000, $20,000 on the dog. $50,000. Buy the dog clothes and all that. When there's some human being who doesn't even make $10,000 or $20,000 a year. So, you tell me. Now, don't get me wrong, because I like dogs. I've always had a dog, but my dogs stay outside in the doghouse and the kennel. I may take him to the park, walk him around the block, but that's it. And he's going to have some dog food. But now, people do what they want to do. But just look at your priorities. Do you really need 10 million, 20 million, 50, $100 million? Do you really need that? There you are. And there's somebody else who's in need. Would it really hurt you to help that person? Go to a hospital where there's a cancer patient, but not long to live. Would it hurt you to do something for that family? You don't have to do it to advertise it and publicize it, and for publicity. You don't need to do that. Do it from your heart. So the big question that everybody's been asking is, why are we here? Why are we here? Well, I can answer that. We're not here to love, because it's just not about love only. We are here to help. As simple as that.